Okay, I'm a hypocrite. Yes, I poo-poo pallet wood projects all the time in real life. Maybe not on the internet, but in real life. And yet, I've done a lot of them, and it looks like I'm going to be doing more in the future. So, on this go-round of tearing apart all these for a future project, I decided I like to make my life a little bit easier long-term. So, in this video, we're going to build a Pallet Buster. Something to help me break these things apart to get to the good stuff. Also, it's going to be a short video, and behind the scenes, I'm transferring over to DaVinci Resolve, video editing software, after 20 years of working with Adobe. So this is kind of a little bit of a practice, a little short video. So let's go do some metalworking. And this is what I'm going to be working with, just some scrapyard practice material I got and leftovers from the trailer. I do have a round metal pipe. We were using this to practice on building a fence. I still have some square tubing from various sizes and some I-beams and stuff like that. So let's figure out how to do this. Now, Pallet Buster is just basically a glorified pry bar. It lets you kind of pivot off of a beam like that and lift up these slats, which is what I want to keep. Most of mine use a 2x4. That's just kind of this area I'm working for, and I like getting the long pallets that came from like door manufacturers or lawnmower manufacturers. Occasionally, I'll get some nice wood that comes from Europe, and they'll have these wider ones. If you build a dedicated Pallet Buster for this size, meaning it's going to be able to straddle this 2x4 material, it won't work as well at this size. So, if you're doing a lot of these, you might want to make it a little bit wider, but I'm just going to go for it for the majority of pallets I use, which use a 2x4, and these, they are generally an inch and a half. So if I make it so it spreads maybe 2 1/4 inches, I won't have to be as exact when I'm just slapping this thing around to pry these off. So from what I've seen, it's best to use some kind of pipe, though this is a little bit bigger than what most use, for the simple reason when you have the little levers, the roundness lets you kind of roll it and gives you the most leverage for lifting up the thing. So I'm going to start by cutting this to the width I need, and I'll probably use this scrap to cut the fingers. Gonna make mine 7 1/4 inches. And let's say we make each one of the legs that long. Carefully measured. With that cut, I now have a piece of angle iron I can weld to that, and that'll give me a flat going this way and a flat coming out that way. This way will help weld to that. This way will give me a flat to weld a handle onto. Now for the handle, I had this piece of square tubing, but I don't know, for some reason I don't think it's going to be strong enough, the thickness of it. And I have this tubing right here that fits inside of it. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 2 of these of the same length and weld them together to kind of double up the thickness for the handle. This should give me enough leverage. Hey, I'm just using a scrap metal I have. As for the heights, well, yeah, I think that height will work out. And just like in woodworking, if you want to cut something square, just focus on one line at a time. I'll cut across the top, and I'll focus on cutting down, and that'll create a curved line that will straighten at the backside. So you only really have to worry about 2 lines to make a 4-sided square cut. And the last thing is to cut one piece this size so that it'll anchor down. So there we go. I have two bottom pieces. The space in between them is more than a typical 2x4. I can weld this piece right here. I will weld this piece right here. Then I can put this piece to extend down and anchor these. So now I have a larger distance on the side, so I increase the welding strength right there. And then on top, I can go ahead and put this piece down, and that should give me a slight angle on the side for me to weld the handle onto. So next up, I just need to clean up all this metal, get it ready for welding, and then we'll weld it up tomorrow. So some of the things I'm going to be doing different than I see a lot of other people doing is a lot of people will start their welding like that so that the flat goes underneath it. I'm actually going to put this down here and kind of bring these up on the side so they are actually going to be in plane with the bottom of this. My thinking is that will give me a little bit more control in prying it up because it's immediately starting on the roller. The problem is I now have one pivot point, so that could create leverage against this and cause it to bend. So that's what this piece is for. I'm going to weld it on top at a slight angle so I can weld another piece right here, and that will create a distance that will be a little bit more strong. Plus, this will create the angle for my handle to come off on. Now I need to grind this weld somewhat flat so this piece can register like that. And with a little jig making, I can now tack on the handle. And with that, I have a feeling I need a little bit more bracing right here. So I've got this other piece of steel. I'm just going to weld that on right like that. And I think that should give me some good rolling area and also a little bit more structure right here. And just like that, I now have a Pallet Buster. Needs a little make pretty though. You know it's going to rust, you might as well paint it red. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hey, tell me if you could tell any difference in the editing. I'll let this dry overnight, and tomorrow I'll start another video on how I process pallets. Y'all be safe and have fun, and remember, it's always worth the effort to learn, create, share with others. Have fun.